cannot stand not knowing the future. And so they want someone to tell them what it's going to be. Or if they know the future and they don't like it, they will do everything they can to change it. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 4 of the Torah portion, Balak. We come to a little bit further in this story and understand that Balaam is being courted financially. Money. Again, he is the prophet for profit. Balak says to him in chapter 22 of Bamidbar, Numbers, verse 11, a people has come out of Mitzrayim and covered the face of the land. Come now, curse them for me. It might be that I am able to fight against them and drive them out. And Elohim said to Balaam, do not go with them. Do not go with them. You do not curse the people, for they're blessed. That should be the end of the story. A second set of messengers come, more money, more prestige, bigger promises. Balaam says, well, hold on and let me just see if Yah maybe has changed his mind. Yah doesn't change his mind. But he does say to them, go ahead and go with them. Perhaps we could insert in parentheses here something that my mom used to say to me. Go ahead, hardhead. I was quite a hard-headed individual as a child. Some say still to this day. Nevertheless, we go on. Are we impressed by men's credentials, by their legends, by their heroic name and status, their population, or even their swagger, by their promises? Are we allowing ourselves to be impressed by men? Could somebody have such credentials about them or proposed about them that you would accept a conflicting word from them, from that which Yah has already spoken to you, because of their reputation or perceived prominence? We all know folks that have, maybe even ourselves, have run from one place to the other seeking, quote unquote, a word from the Lord. Some individual purported to be a prophet. They can read your mail, we have been told. And they will stand before you and they will say things about you to you that you realize, okay, they got some inside information. And they give you some kind of a prophetic word, such as it's supposed to be. And then you go banking off of that, making life decisions based on some supported or proposed word from the Lord. Could it not be that they guessed generally enough about you, they read your face and continued down a line of thought, and you going, It happens. It's a con man game in some situations. They may have some inside information, but it may not be from the Ruach HaKodesh. Just because someone says something to you that is familiar to you, you don't always have the liberty to surmise, well, the only way they could have known that is the Father told them. There are other sources of information to people other than that the Father speaks to us. Certainly, Yah can give his insight about someone to try to help them and bless them. So Hasatan, who appears as a messenger of light, also can offer information to lead us astray. If Yah has already spoken to you in his word and determined for you a path that you're to follow, if someone comes up and conflicts with that, even if they say that they are a messenger of Yah, before you act, before you accept that word, go back to the Father and say, did you send them? Do they have any credibility with you? What is their lifestyle? Balaam was not a righteous living man. He was involved in the dark arts and sorcery. No one should listen to him, but Balaam's show up. Some short number of years ago, watching television, I flipped through the channels and it went through the Christian television channel area, and an extremely well-known TV preacher, evangelist, pastor person, sitting in a comfortable armchair across from some other guy, was all excited because this so-called prophet had shown up and said that he had a word from God. And God, quote unquote, said that everyone who would run to the phone with their credit card, when you hear that, you can go ahead and change the channel. But nevertheless, anyone who came to their phone with their credit card in hand and sent an offering to this TV preacher's ministry to be placed on this minister's altar in celebration of one of the feast days of Yah. I forget whether it was Pesach or Shavuot. If you will do this in honor of the feast day of Yah, a messenger in heaven is standing at the ready with a blessing in their hand, ready to be dispatched to you the moment that you put this offering on your credit card and it is placed on this pastor's altar. The pastor standing there shaking his head and wow, overwhelming anointing and how many people ran to the phone with their credit card in hand? We are gullible because we don't trust the unknown. Again, Israel is oblivious at this point to all the machinations of evil that are going on behind the scenes. Balaam, driven by greed and by an anti-Semitic spirit, gets on his donkey early and runs to go and take care of this business. It turns out, as we see the story unfold, that the donkey has more prophetic insight than the man on her back. Seeing the messenger of Yah in front of her, ready with a sword to slay Balaam, and she tries to prevent the death. And Balaam is too driven, too overcome by his greed, by his dark mind, to recognize that he's working against Yah. Let me share something with you, and I quote from Lord Jonathan Sacks, and may his memory be a blessing. The false prophet speaks, the true prophet listens. The false prophet tells people what they want to hear. The true prophet tells people what they need to hear. The false prophet believes in his own powers. The true prophet knows he has no power. The false prophet speaks in his own voice. The true prophet speaks in a voice not his. For example, Moshe said, I am not a man of words. And Jeremiah says, I cannot speak, for I am a child. Who are you listening to? What are they saying? How are they affecting your life toward righteousness? Do their words contradict the things that the Father has already shared with you? Do their words conflict with the word of Elohim? Do you hear someone's flattering words, leading comments, and accept what they say without running to the Father and getting on your face and crying out to Him for direction and confirmation? We all like to be told, oh, you're going to be blessed and everything you do is going to succeed and life is going to be wonderful and encouraging. How well do we receive the word that says you're in for a challenge? A storm is coming into your life and it's going to be tough. And whether you survive or not is dependent upon how you trust Him. Those are hard words to hear. Listen to the voice of the Ruach before you listen to anything, for the Ruach will confirm the written word. and maybe not the spoken word of man. More tomorrow. Till then, shalom.